What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Monday. We got a nice 9-game slate on tap for tonight. Got some great plays throughout the whole entire slate, but I got to narrow down for you 6 of my favorite plays, my money 6 of the night. Coming off a great video last time, especially with Nelson Cruz went deep twice for us. And Shashin, the pitcher for the Brewers, actually had a great night value-wise. He went for 26 DraftKings points, so it was a really good night if you ran out of most of those plays in that video. So go ahead and drop a like, though, before we get going on this one. If you're ready to win some money here tonight, yeah, so 80 plus likes in this video. Let's see if we can hit it. Thank you if we can. Let's get into it, though. Kenta Maeda, first pitcher, up at 10,100. Has some great strikeout upside. That Milwaukee lineup does look pretty scary on paper. But one thing that Maeda can do in this matchup is get around like 7 to 8 Ks, honestly, here. And if he can just limit the home runs, I think he can have a very good night. We know this is a park downgrade for Milwaukee. Their home park is very hitter-friendly in LA. Not so much. So Kenta Maeda has a 29.4% K rate on the season. Milwaukee has the 5th highest K rate out of any team in baseball, and they're only implied 3.4 runs. So Vegas likes him a good amount. He's had some solid starts throughout the whole entire year. This start he actually was pulled early due to an injury, but for the most part, he's been very consistent around 20 DraftKings points, like every single time out, except this little rough stretch. I think he got pulled from this game against the Phillies. Looks like he went through a little bit of a tough stretch, but for the most part, having some very solid and consistent games. So I think he can have a solid one here. Like I mentioned, has great upside. Just has to limit the long ball, and it should be a lot easier in LA. Against this Milwaukee lineup. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. I think he's good for 20 plus to even 30 DraftKings points. That's his upside for this matchup against Milwaukee. So for my second guy, though, Robbie Ray. He's very volatile as a pitcher, but the guy has immense upside, especially against a lineup like Texas that is very free swinging and they can strike out a lot. So he has a 30% K rate this season. Similar to Milwaukee, it's a park downgrade for Texas going to Arizona. And he's coming off one of his better starts since coming off the DL. Actually won 7 innings. Normally you don't see him being that efficient. Got 6 Ks against Chicago, and that's a good amount. Chicago isn't known for a high strikeout team, so good to see there. And against his Texas lineup, they have the 2nd highest K rate of any team. So I think Robbie Ray has like 8 to 10 K strikeout, honestly, upside in this game. Like I mentioned, it's a park downgrade. Another team that's projected low run total, only like 3.4 to 3.5 runs. So I like Robbie Ray here. His numbers imply that his ERA is due for positive regression. If you look at the xFIP and Sierra, he's pitching better than what the ERA shows. And at the value of 8,000, I'll take that all day. I could see him being pretty chalky here tonight, considering that his price is pretty low and the matchup is really good. But I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there, go with that safety and upside of the pitcher position. So Maeda and Ray, both 2 of the highest guys, I think, that can, 2 of the best guys on the slate for strikeout upside and just upside in general for DraftKings points. But for my first hitter now, we're going to go with a little mini stack of Arizona. Paul Goldschmidt at 4,700. Another guy that seems a little bit too cheap. Going against a lefty, we know he's absolutely great against lefties at 316 ISO against him this year. Martin Perez, not a good pitcher. He's allowing 2.2 home runs per 9 to right-handed batters, and he's allowing a 448 WOBA to right-handed batters. So righties absolutely are killing him. Goldschmidt, one of the best hitters in all of baseball against lefties, and we know that Texas is a really bad bullpen. So even if they get to Perez and he's taken out of the game like the 5th inning, the bullpen's really bad, so Goldschmidt and other guys in Arizona can get to them as well. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. Great upside in that matchup, and we're going to match him up with A.J. Pollock at 5,100. Another guy that's extremely good against lefties. Has a 365 ISO against them, and they're implied 4.9 runs in this game. So I think Pollock and Goldschmidt, both the guys have great upside in this matchup, can hit for a home run against Perez, and if they get to that bullpen, we know that Pollock can steal some bases against pitchers as well. Goldschmidt has that ability. So both these guys have power, speed, ability, a ton of RBI potential here in this matchup. And like I mentioned, Perez has been struggling a lot against right-handed batters, and the bullpen is really bad. So Pollock and Goldschmidt, I like that little mini stack. I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there. For my third guy, got another guy that's very good against lefties, Christian Villanueva at 3,900 here. He's been struggling a little bit recently, kind of not really having the best numbers, but he still has that power upside, especially against lefties. absolutely mashes against them. He's seen Derek Holland before. He's 1 for 4 with the home run against them, and so we know he has that power upside. And the guy is a 430 ISO against lefties and a 464 WOBA against them. So he's an elite batter against lefties, especially this season. And Derek Holland, he's allowing 1.5 home runs per 9. And he was even worse last year against right-handed batters and a 44% hard hit rate to them. So when they're connecting with him, connecting on the ball against them, normally they're hitting it very hard and have the power for a home run. So I think Villanueva, if he connects with one, he can go deep, get an extra base hit against them. And San Diego does have some sneaky good bats against lefties like Will Myers, Hunter Renfroe, and Villanueva, so they can take it to Holland in this matchup. So I think they're a sneaky stack. Cheaper one if you want to go down that alley. It's not a great hitting environment in San Diego, we know that, but they do have the power upside against a guy like Derek Holland. So at 3,900, though, I'll take the value there and go ahead and lock him in there. So that's the main five. You got Maeda, Robbie Ray, Paul Goldschmidt, Villanueva, and AJ Pollock. And for my cheap value guy, D. Gordon, he has eligibility at second base and outfield, so you can kind of pick what you want to do with him there. And he has some nice value here, considering the matchup against Garrett Cole. He does have stolen base ability, and we've seen he's been taken off for some stolen bases the last 3 out of 4 games. Has gotten one, has gone double digits in those games. So if he just gets like a walk or a single in this matchup and gets a stolen base, he's a returning value just in that sense. And at 3,400, it's a great price tag. So if Garrett Cole, he has been kind of wild in some of these games recently. If he walks him, gets the first base, gets a stolen base, you're getting value there. So, and he's had some good BVP against a small sample, but he's 8 for 19, and that's a 42% on base percentage there. So if he just gets on base once in one of these plate appearances, and he's 5 for 5 with stolen bases against him. So I like the ability here for D. Gordon to get a stolen base if he just gets on base once first. Fingers crossed. But I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there, 3,400. And that gets you up to 3,700 remaining per player. And I think you got 2 of the best pitchers on the slate, 2 of the best elite batters on the slate with Goldschmidt and Pollock, and you got some great upside for Villanueva and for D. Gordon considering his price tag. So that is it for the plays, though. Be sure to drop a like before you head out. 80 plus likes would be greatly appreciated. And also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to get these winning plays every single day. We're approaching 5,000 subs. So I'm really excited about that. So definitely subscribe if you want to support the channel. Means a lot. Hit that bell icon to get alerted every time I upload these videos. So good luck tonight, guys, on this 9-game slate. You can also follow me on Twitter at MoneyWebby if you haven't already to get any updates on these plays and just maybe some other thoughts, some fantasy football season-long thoughts that I tweet out randomly and stuff like that. So good luck, though. We'll see you back here again tomorrow.